Boy oh boy, do I have an exciting video for you guys this week, or at least on this episode. I'm not going to guarantee myself I'm going to upload next week, but that is definitely the plan. Pokemon is going to make some huge changes in the Pokemon TCG from Scarlet and Violet onward, and I got to talk about it because I think it's probably mostly aimed to me, which is a partly card collector and seal collector, because they're, these changes are actually incredibly big. Like, it might just seem like, a few, art changes and, a few changes in the packs and in the MSRP and here and there, but they matter so much. And I'm going to talk about it today. So obviously, with Sword and Shield, still followed the traditional way that Pokemon did Pokemon cards, which has been the thing for 20 years. Like, obviously in terms of MSRP, which is the manufacturer's store recommended price or sale recommended price, that is the price, like the base price you see products in. Pokemon have upped the MSRP before. That is, something that isn't really strange. I think first you could easily get a booster box for between $60 and $80, and now you cannot find one, at least one that is regularly printed for like 100 to 110 bucks, which is obviously a very big change, but that's obviously because of the Pokemon boom in 2020, and because more people are interested in Pokemon. It only really makes sense. For the first time ever in 20 years or 25 years, or for how long English cards have been here, they are going to make changes that have never been made in the Pokemon TCG, and I'm going to talk to you about it, and I'm going to tell you what effect that is going to have on you if you are a collector, sealed collector, or if that's not going to have any change on you, and if it's going to have a change, what change that specifically is going to be. So let's go over it. I have my phone here. We're going to talk about it. First, just want to go over the one that I do feel like are not very interesting. I don't want to say this is not an interesting one, but it's not as surprising, which is that all Elite Trainer boxes will now have an additional booster pack and a full art promo, which means that we're not going to get 8 packs but 9 packs, and we're going to get a full art promo just like with any other special set. So for example, Shining Fates or Pokemon Go, with sets like those, you got 10 packs and one promo card. I think it was always a full art promo as well. You're just gonna get 1 pack less. That's like the big change. I don't want to say this is a very important change. Like, obviously Elite Trainer boxes is something that gets opened a lot, but if you look at like openings on YouTube, you can just see that Elite Trainer boxes don't particularly get opened more than any other thing. Like, obviously it's cheaper to buy like 2 Elite Trainer boxes than to buy 1 booster box, but if you're going to spend 70 to 80 bucks, I think some people are just gonna spend like 110 bucks to get like 4 or 5 times the amount of packs. So I do feel like this is a change that makes sense. Obviously full art promo, there's going to be a lot of it, so obviously that full art promo might not be very interesting. And I do have to admit that if you have a full art promo out of an Elite Trainer box from this era, so Sword and Shield, or maybe a few eras ago, that might become a little more expensive, because obviously it was not regular to get a full art promo inside of an Elite Trainer box. Obviously for a specialty set it was, but now every single set, I imagine also the specialty sets, are going to have a full art promo, which is pretty interesting. Second thing is that they are going to get rid of set symbols. And they're going to change it with first letter, second letter, so that's Scarlet and Violet, which is just SF, and I think they're just going to put the number after it. I feel like that's what they're going to change, which I think I'm happy about it, but at the same time I'm not. So the thing is that it's going to be exactly the same as in Japanese. If you open a Japanese set, there was for example with Sword and Shield, I think you got an SWSH, which was Sword and Shield, and then the set number. So if it was the third set, it was SWSH3. For example, they're gonna do the same in English. It's not particularly a good change, nor is it a bad one. Like, in my opinion, there are some set symbols that are very recognizable, like Evolving Skies, but there are some set symbols that I've definitely had a problem with. And I do have to admit, if you know what you're talking about, if you know just the entire lineup of the Sword and Shield in order, then you're going to easily know which set number is going to go to which set. Like, I know that Rebel Clash is the second set ever released, like, out of my head, so I know that SWSH2 is Rebel Clash. It's a fine addition. I can absolutely understand if you're gonna miss that, and yeah, it makes sense. It absolutely makes sense. Now we're gonna get into the big boy changes. The next one is one that we already knew, but we now know how much it is. MSRP of a booster packs is gonna go up from $4 or $3.99 to $4.49 to $4.50. That's not that significant, but those are dollars, so that's probably gonna be America specifically. Here in Europe, it most likely will be like $1 more for one pack, which is a pretty significant change. If you're gonna buy like a box with like 4 packs and let's say a promo card, it's not gonna be 25, it's gonna be 30 now. And I'm really talking about like those Pikachu V boxes that everybody sees everywhere, which is gonna be significant. I do feel like that one, like obviously sealed collector, it's gonna matter. I'm gonna have to spend more money, but I already knew that. Like I knew that the MSRP was gonna go up, but I don't want to say it's very significant, but I do feel like the MSRP, like the 50 cents, or I think it's going to be €1 for us here, is a significant change. How big of a change it is going to be is very hard to tell right now, because we don't know how much that's going to translate into collection boxes, special boxes. Like with packs, like you're not going to get it for €5, but for 6 now. Okay, that's not fun, but I barely buy single packs. Like I always buy collection boxes or something like that. Not a very significant change if you ask me, but it is a change that I feel like is is going to matter at one point. Maybe I will realize everything gets up and that will be upsetting, but for now I don't really care that much. But it's more significant than the other 2 changes that I just told you. We're going to get silver borders around card arts, which is arguably the most significant change out of all of this. There's one change that I think is going to affect my entire collection, but this change... Okay, I probably need to explain this to you. If you're not familiar with Japanese cards, cards are simply made in Japan first. That's simply how they work. And the artists make the art with a gray border. Japanese Pokemon cards have a gray border instead of a yellow one. And I think that is fine, but the gray border just simply looks better. Like I'm probably gonna put an example up in screen. This is how it looks. This is the the big difference. It's a really big deal if you like the art. And I do feel like there's one thing that a lot of people forget, is that alternate arts also have a gray border. Imagine these cards having a yellow border. That like I cannot even think about that. It's just ugly from the start. This is going to be such a significant deal, because just even simple cards can look stunning, just because like this could be the first era where just simple common cards that might be a little bit harder to get, which doesn't really make sense, but those might actually become more expensive. We're gonna see hollows and other cards that were not significant first. We're gonna see those become more significant. Having said that, there's one, or technically 2 changes that is way more important. They're gonna give you 3 guaranteed hollow foil cards, which is very significant, because that means that everything I have in my collection now is not very easy to get in comparison with how you're going to pack it in future. If you start collecting in 2024 and the 5th or 6th set of Scarlet and Violet has released, the stuff that I have will not only just be old, to say it like that, but will also just be completely different, because there's one item that is by far the most important, and that's going to be booster boxes. How are we going to do booster boxes? Are we going to do it the same with just regular Japanese booster boxes, which means 20 packs, or are we going to do it the same as specialty sets in Japan, which is 10 packs, or are we just going to do 36 packs? I am almost 100% sure that we're not going to get regular booster boxes. The 36 booster box is most likely done. It's just like this change is so significant that even if even if we're going to have booster boxes with 20 packs, you're going to get way better pulls than any booster box with 36 packs. It just simply is. There's one change that might change everything for people that sit on booster boxes, that have booster boxes in their seal collection, and that is if you're guaranteed an alternate art, a certain secret rare or secret amazing rare, if they're going to bring that over from V-Star Universe. If that happens, I can 100% say that my seal collection has been a really good investment, and the only thing I need to do is just wait, which is a very heavy thing to say, but this is great. But this is also great for sealed collectors, because anything you've collected now is going to completely change in a half year from now, which is a very good thing. Having said that, there's one major thing that I feel like could ruin almost everything that I just said, and that is the amount of cards we're going to get in a certain set. What I mean by that is obviously a set has like 150 to let's say like 200 cards. Japanese specialty sets usually have more, but usually English sets take cards from that specialty set. I think VMAX Climax had those like Charizard character card, had the Kingdra character card, just to name a few examples that got taken by that set from VMAX Climax, and we're gonna do the same most likely with V-Star Universe and with the sets next year. If they're gonna do it the same way as there, then that probably means we're gonna get 350 to 400 cards in a set maybe, which could still, it's probably gonna be a nightmare to complete a set. If you are a master collector of every single set that comes out, I think I have very bad news for you, because you're not only going to get the same holo in 7 packs in a row, that at least could be a chance, but yeah, it's also probably going to be very hard to collect a complete set, just simply because it is massive. If you're gonna get 3 holos in a pack, and it might be like a different holo that they're going to introduce as soon as Scarlet and Violet comes out, could easily be the case. But if they're gonna give you 3 regular holos, I can guarantee you there's going to be 70 to 100 holos at the bare minimum in every single set. That's a lot to collect. You're going to get so many doubles. But it's definitely a very interesting thing to look at, because it has always been something that I kind of dreamed of, to have that VMAX Climax type inside of English cards, and they're finally going to do it. Significant changes, very interesting. I hopefully in a month from now I will be opening V-Star Universe on this channel. At least I'm planning to do. I will probably open it with my girlfriend, and usually we don't put stuff on camera if we open. It's me. It's never guaranteed. If I have missed a change, please let me know in the comments, because I'm probably stupid and I probably miss a very significant change. If you like it, then I will very much appreciate a like. If you want to see more, please subscribe. Let me know if you want to see more. Subscribe, guys. Thank you. Hope to see you next time. And yeah, this was me again. I talked. That was it. Thank you.